Story time. The Drumpateers, all for one and none for all. The Three Musketeers were a fable, and their motto was all for one, one for all, which embodied loyalty, brotherhood, and a noble defense of justice and liberty. They fought not for personal power, but to protect the people and preserve the integrity of France against corrupt forces seeking absolute control. What does that remind you of? But in the American remake, let's call it the Trumpeters, or better yet, the Drumpateers. And the plot takes a darker turn. Because in this twisted fable, the separation of powers, a founding pillar of democracy, is no longer sacred. The executive branch under Donald Trump has declared itself the sword. The legislature, once the people's voice, has been subdued into a cheering gallery. And the judicial branch, meant to interpret the law with independence and impartiality, is slowly becoming and being reshaped to serve a singular man's will. The Drumpateers do not wield their muskets for justice or common good. No, their oath is to one man, not one nation. Their cry, all for Trump and none for all. With loyalist judges, obedient lawmakers, and a fanatical base, Trump tightens his grip on the machinery of government. What remains beyond his reach is the U.S. military, the last great institution not sworn to his personal rule. Should that final barrier fall, we will no longer speak of branches of government, we will speak of a throne. King Trump, not president. A nation ruled, not governed. Now, the danger of unchecked power, of kings who rule without consent, or courtiers who sold their soul for favor, has become prophecy, but there is still time. You see, the real musketeers fought to resist tyranny, to protect liberty, to preserve dignity. The people must remember, power flows from us to government, not the other way around. In a democracy, we do not kneel to kings. We vote, organize, we resist. Let us not be ruled by Trumpeters, whose loyalty is to power alone. Let us revive the spirit of true Americans. Let it be, maybe for once in our life, all for one and one for all, because we are standing at a dangerous crossroads in American history. For over 2 centuries, our democracy has been guided by a sacred principle, checks and balances, 3 equal branches of government designed to keep any one person from becoming too powerful. But today we watch as Donald and his loyalists attempt to seize control of all 3. The executive branch, he already claimed it. Legislative branch, too many in Congress bow their heads and follow his lead, scared to lose what they got. The judicial branch, reshaped by appointments, chosen not for fairness but for loyalty. All that remains is the final wall between democracy and dictatorship is the armed forces. And if he gets that, we won't have a president. We'll have a king. But the Trumpeters don't fight for liberty. They fight for loyalty to one man. They bend the law, rewrite the truth, and scheme in the shadows. They treat democracy like an obstacle, not a treasure. They don't want a country of we the people. They want a country of he the ruler. But don't lose hope. Don't lose your voice. Let us write with courage, compassion, ballots, not bullets, with truth and tyranny, not tyranny. See, we've seen this story before, but now it's not a fable, not a warning from fiction. It's happening right here, right now in America. The United States was built on a vision. But what happens when one man wants it all? Donald and his loyalists, the Drumpateers are dismantling every safeguard of our democracy. Now they reach the final pillars, the military, and now our speech. See, we thought the battle was in the courts. We thought the battle was in Congress, but now it's on our phones, in our pockets, in our minds. Trump allies have moved to buy TikTok, the last free-flowing platform of youth, culture, creativity, and unfiltered truth. I hope that is not the last one, but it's one, and they want to rename that M2, as in MAGA 2.0. It's not a social app. A propaganda machine is what it is. This isn't about free speech. It's about controlled speech. Control the app, control the narrative, control the money, control the mind. And while that distraction plays out, the Drumpateers are carving up the map again. In Texas, they're redistricting with surgical precision, targeting districts of the most vocal critics. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Congressman Al Green. We have to protect them in their districts. Their crime, telling the truth, speaking for the people, upholding the rights and privileges of all citizens. And just in time, right before the midterm elections. Perfect timing, isn't it? All while they lie and they say they're not affiliated with Project 2025, but now we know that's a lie. A blueprint for dictatorship so extreme, even Trump pretended not to know it. But the moves are all there. Take the seats, silence the voices, redraw the maps, control the media, take the throne. Not a presidency, a kingship. So I ask, where are the people? This country once stood up to kings. We stood up to the most powerful empire on earth, the British crown, armed with nothing but courage and conviction. Now we face a man in a movement trying to crown himself over us, and we ask, can we stand? We better, because if we don't, the courts are gone, the Congress is gerrymandered, and gerrymandered is nothing but manipulating the boundaries of an electoral constituency as to favor one party or class. The truth is buried in the app store. The people's voice will become a whisper if we do not get up. But we are not whisperers. We are thunder. We don't swear a loyalty to kings. We don't swear loyalty to each other, to justice, to truth, to democracy, said. And I say it with all the urgency. We have to pledge our allegiance to what is right. And what is right is us and our freedom, our privileges, our citizenship. So it's up to us, organize, mobilize, vote like the Republic depends on it, because it does. Stand up to the Drumpateers, say no to their map rigging, no to their media takeovers, no to their lies, no to their king, and yes to the people, yes to the truth, yes to democracy. But we have one thing that's been holding us back for centuries. We don't want to be all for one, one for all. We want it to be all for white supremacy. We're all for Europeans. But guess what? Now you're finding out that you're in the same bucket with us. You'll suffer just as we do. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about himself and money and the billionaires and trillionaires. So you better think again. You want to be a Drumpateer? Go right ahead. But finally, we must think about uniting. That's the only way.